Hello and welcome to the SBK Betting Podcast. Tom Collins here alongside Ross Miller as ever. Hopefully you're going to enjoy the next 20 minutes or so. It's a bit of a shorter preview because we have just recorded our Royal Ascot preview show. More on that in a second. But we are still going to be looking at two feature races from this Saturday, as well as providing our nap and next best, or just nap when it comes to myself. Talking of winners, hopefully we can provide plenty this week. But last week we had a couple. Ross put up I'm a Starman, who won at Worcester. I put up Mini Hawk, who won the Oaks, and also Sovereignty, who won the Belmont Stakes. That horse, by the way, if you haven't watched the Belmont Stakes, you're not usually interested in US racing, go and watch the replay. He is an excellent animal and he's got a great chance in the Classic when it comes to November, providing everything goes well between now and then. The reason for the shorter podcast today, as already mentioned, is the fact that we've just recorded our Royal Ascot preview show. We've talked about all of the Group 1s, a couple of the featured undercard races, including the 2-year-old events, and we've mentioned a few handicappers, but there'll be more on that in the daily podcast next week. Ross, people should go check that out, shouldn't they?
Yeah, I'm really happy, TC, that without getting your notes, I found a few that you landed on as well, which bolsters my confidence. So yeah, hopefully we found a few winners. I think we were both in profit last year, if I remember. So yeah, fingers crossed and more of the same.
Yeah, we are singing off the same hymn sheet a lot next week, which is interesting. Hopefully we both have a good week. And talking about that, as I've already mentioned, there are going to be daily podcasts every day from Monday, talking about Tuesday's racing, throughout the whole week next week. Myself and Ross, there'll be about 10 to 15 minutes or so, quick fire action. And these daily podcasts, Ross, people seem to like them due to the interactions and the views they get. But we've had notable success this year. Cheltenham, Aintree, can we do it at Royal Ascot too?
Let's hope so. Yeah, they both in profit, weren't they? So the pressure builds. I mean, more on you because flat's your thing, jump's my thing. So I get a free ride. No, a lot of work goes into it. I really enjoy it, and I really enjoy sort of looking forward. For me, okay, Cheltenham Aintree comes quite easy, but Royal Ascot to really sort of be encouraged to get into those sort of mile handicaps, which sometimes can make me glaze over. I enjoy the sort of motivation. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And you're really good at putting up big price winners of those events, as we saw at Cheltenham and Aintree. So hopefully both of us can follow suit over the course of next week at Royal Ascot. Some big field handicaps and some great racing. Before we talk about Saturday's racing, the whole point of this podcast, a couple of bits of housekeeping for you. Firstly, if you do enjoy our content here on the SBK channel, please do subscribe down below. There has been a nice upturn in subscriptions lately, so subscribe down below. Also, like the video, that's very much appreciated. And you can click the bell notification so you don't miss out on any of the content on SBK, especially when it comes to next week with the daily podcast. You'll want to be hearing those straight away if you're interested in those. Also, SBK has plenty of offers, as you would expect this time of year. Firstly, this Saturday, there is a 20% multiples boost. Minimum 4 legs to qualify for that. T's and C's apply. It can be a win ACCA, it can be an each-way ACCA. It is a good offer, so make sure you take a look at that. There's also a 20% ACCA boost every day at Royal Ascot next week, minimum 4 legs as well for those, as well as a 20% winnings boost on individual selected races. So keep your ear to the ground for those to find out which races you're going to see the boost on. T's and C's apply. You can check it all out on the promotions page in the SBK app. Right, let's get into Saturday's action then. We'll start with the Scurry Stakes, the 240 at Sandown. Smallish field here. We are anticipating quite small fields across the board on Saturday. Maybe a couple of races at York that's not the case for. Star of Memas is your 5-2 favourite, but there are a couple of interesting challenges here, Ross.
Yeah, I've gone for one at a big price, you see. I just thought was overpriced, and that's Culazan for James Tate. Returned in the Sandy Lane over 6 furlongs. That was a Group 2. Was never really in it. Just couldn't really find his stride. But drops down in class now onto a track that he had a winning maiden format and over this course and distance, actually, and it was a good maiden win. Followed that up and was just behind Coto de Casa at Newmarket, giving away £3. Now races off level weights. Coto de Casa is versus Culzane's prices. I mean, Culzane's about 5 times the price, and I don't see that differential really, given that they're now racing off level weight. So in a race where I didn't have a strong opinion, I wanted to try and find one at a price, and Culazan for James Tate is the one, given that he has got strong horse form.
Yeah, really big price as well, and could be a fascinating contender with that course and distance icon next to his name that you'll see on the race card if you use Racing Post. This was a tricky race, I thought, as well. I slightly veered towards the top of the market in here. I like Hold a Dream, not the favourite, but around 3-1 for Clive Cox. Stable form, a big problem here for the Cox Yard. Naught from 30, sorry, in the last 19 days, not from 22 in the last 2 weeks. This is at the time of recording on Thursday. Might have changed since then. So we do want to see a little bit of upturn in terms of Clive's runners, but he's usually pretty good around this time of year. So hopefully the horses are about to fire. This filly ran against some nice types so far this season in 2 efforts. Ran a listed race last time and shaped well, albeit didn't get involved at the business end. And last year she proved that she has a lot of talent. I quite like the cut back to 5 furlongs. So that's the angle here with Hold a Dream. But it's a competitive race and one where maybe you'd look to take on the market leaders and go with a horse like Ross has at a big price. We'll move on to the Grand Cup at York. This is going to be run at 3 p.m. 1 mile 6 furlongs here, so literally the polar opposite of what we've just talked about with the Scurry. We've gone from the sprinters to the stayers, but we've still got a small field. Only 5 runners in this race, Ross, and the market is dominated by Willie Mullins' horse Absurd.
Yeah, I didn't really get that. I don't know about UTC. Yes, he's a good horse, but I think he's often priced up on the fact he's a good hurdle horse. He won a competitive handicap hurdle, of course, and Mullins does so well with these types of horses. I didn't really have him as a strong favourite here. I've gone with Al Sakib. He beat Al Kareem over this course just in the John Smith's Cup last year. Beat him convincingly, drawing away. That was off level weights. He now gets £5 off that rival. Al Kareem in turn beat Absurd at Chester, only just, but that sort of ties those in together. And Al Kareem is £2 worth off with Absurd, I should point that out. But I think that puts Al Sakib certainly in and around them. The fact he's a bigger price than them made him of interest. We know he likes the track. Yes, he was disappointing on his return in the Yorkshire Cup. He was only 5th. Slightly underwhelming effort, but the market seemed to know he went off a pretty big price. That was a Group 2. This is a slightly easier contest, I think. He's got conditions to suit. I thought he was too big a price, given a small field. So Al Sakib is the selection.
Yeah, interesting. And taking on the favourite again there, Al Sakib for Ross. Be careful with your Als because it is quite close between those 2 horses, Al Sakib and Al Kareem. I thought Absurd was the horse to beat. I think this is the first time we've disagreed today. And bearing in mind we've done the Ascot pod, that's quite something. But yeah, I thought Absurd was just the best horse in this race. Al Kareem wants softer ground. I actually think Al Sakib does want a bit of cut underfoot, albeit he can get away with it in quicker conditions. Absurd, we saw in the Ebor in 2023, over this course and distance, he won, beat a 22 runner field on good to firm. I feel like this is the right race for him, and Danny Tudhope takes the ride. Maybe a smaller field is a little bit of a negative, but you could equally say that Absurd's got a really nice turn of foot. And last time at Chester, it wasn't used to the perfect moment, perfect ability for Absurd. Rain softened ground, tried to quicken up the inside, and the horse flattered out in the latter part. I think in this small field on faster ground, he's going to be able to use that turn of foot. And that could be the difference here. Okay, there's also racing this week at Chester, Bath, Downpatrick, Hexham, Uttoxeter, Leicester, as well as the undercards at Sandown and York. Plenty to choose from, Ross, but this is just pre-Royal Ascot. How many bets are you going to have this week for a start? And then what are your nap and next bets?
I'll go steady this weekend, I have to admit, but there were 2 I like for Nap and the next best. The Nap comes at Hexham over the fence. It worked quite well to go jumps last time with I'm a Starman. So the Hexham 5:28, a 3 mile handicap chase. Halfway House Lad for Maurice Barnes. He's been ridden his last 4 starts by Charlie Price, who's a £3 claimer, and they've struck up a really good partnership. 2 wins, a second, and unseated last time, but we'll come to that in a minute. One of the wins came over this course and distance. That was off a marker 74. The runners-up effort came over this course as well off a marker 79, but it wasn't really the mark that beat him. It just turns out he bumped into a very well-handicapped horse. He was 4.5 lengths behind Kicks After 6. That horse has won twice since. He's now £16 higher. Halfway House Lad is only £2 higher. He was still going well last time when unseating. He actually got distracted by a loose horse, so I wouldn't worry about that. We know he likes the track. We know he likes this ground. He's clearly in good form, goes well for this jockey. So I thought he was really interesting in the 5:28. And then the next best, just to keep the big bosses happy, I've gone back to the flat in the 2:45 at Chester. And it's James Chapelheim trained Claymore. He was a really good horse a few years back, and a sort of horse I slightly followed over a cliff. He was rated 111 at one point. I thought he had loads of class about him, and things didn't really happen. He's largely raced on the all-weather since then. He's 0 from 11 on the all-weather. It just appears that he doesn't really like it. Switched back to the turf last time over at mile and 4 at Newmarket. Cruised to the front really nicely 2 furlongs out. Looked like he was going to go away and win it. And then stamina sort of faltered and the eventual winner came past him. And the winner is a strong staying horse. That was off a marker 93. He now drops down to a marker 92. He's got a nice draw in stall 2. He likes to go forward. He can break sharply from the stalls. So I expect him to get on the rail and make all the running, dropping back 2 furlongs and trip round the sharp track like Chester. I think that'll suit him. He could just be nowhere near as good as he was, but I like what he did last time at Newmarket, so I'll give him a chance in the 245.
Yeah, jumps horse and a flat horse there for Ross then. If you're looking at these different cards, then maybe you'll be keen to play one of those. You might be even going to a place like Hexham or Chester on Saturday. So definitely factor that in and play Ross's picks because he's doing very well so far this calendar year. I'm just going to give you a nap. Not a nap next best. This is not a week that, weekend that I'm overly interested in from a punting perspective. Normally, I don't necessarily have this opinion of not betting just before a major meeting, but I thought the fare this week was tough. There will be one extra on ITV purely because it's an ITV race and I'm on the opening show, but I won't be having many plays, I'll tell you that, not even in the US. The nap is going to be Classic Encounter. Runs in the 4:45 at York. He's an improving type. He's trained by George Bowie. George wouldn't send a horse up to York for no reason. It is a long way. But, they've decided to go this route with Classic Encounter. He was impressive on his reappearance when he dotted up. And then he came back at Newmarket. They raced in different groups. Hardly ideal. He finished first of his group, but finished second overall. Then last time at Newmarket, there was a whole kerfuffle at the start. A horse got withdrawn. A horse unseated his rider as the stalls opened. He was then caught on the wing, which was far from ideal again. No cover throughout the race, and he finished third. I think it was a better performance than the finishing position suggests. And I'd be surprised with William Buick on board if Classic Encounter didn't bounce right back. And because it's a big field, hopefully we'll get a nice price. Ross, talking about Royal Ascot this week, are you coming over?
No, sadly not, TC. With the daily pods, it's made it a little bit difficult, and with various different hats on for work. Now, it's not been now for 2 years, so I need to get back there next year, really. Provided the top hat's still in one piece in the loft.
Yeah, exactly. I've got to go pick my top hat up today, so I'm looking forward to that not fitting as per last time. But I'll be there on Wednesday. I'm looking forward to next week. The weather looks great, and fingers crossed we get some great action at Royal Ascot. As already mentioned, we will have daily podcasts all of next week. Make sure you tune in to those. You can find them on the SBK channel. You can also find them in the SBK app on the horse racing page. You can listen to all of our podcasts there. So numerous options of how to listen to our content. The Royal Ascot preview show, which we've just recorded, should be out around Friday this week, just before Royal Ascot. So make sure you watch that as well. We have opinions on a load of different races, some big price picks, some short price picks as well. A quick reminder of the offers as well from SBK. SBK is offering a 20% Saturday Racing ACCA boost this weekend on the Saturday. Minimum 4 legs to qualify for that, and T's and C's apply. There are some great offers at Ascot next week, including a 20% multiples boost, as well as 20% individual boosts on selected races throughout Ascot. We'll go through all of those in the daily podcast, and also you can listen to them on the Ascot preview show. So make sure you check out all of those offers and promotions. SBK is offering a lot this week and going into Royal Ascot, and you've got to take advantage of it. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully we provided a couple of winners this Saturday. Tune in for that Ascot show. Goodbye.